All right. Hello and welcome to the first ever episode of our website, sort of roast and repair sessions. Yesterday, I put out a call to my friends and followers to send me a link to their website in order for me to review it for them and basically look for any missed opportunities that's on the website to improve it. Hopefully, going to steer it in a direction of getting them some more leads, more work, and improving the opportunities for SEO and the design and layout of the website itself. So we're going to jump straight into it. I've got a message here from a friend of mine, Catherine. She says that she already knows there's a fault with this website where the front page is a little bit dicky on a mobile, something to do with the scrolling. But we're going to jump in right now and see what this site's about and see how we can help improve it. Cool. So straight away, the website loads nice and quickly. Love that. Nothing worse than clicking on a link and then waiting, 5 seconds or so for the website to come up. It's nice and instant, perfect. Having a look. The first thing that stands out to me is that we've got the logo up in the top left corner here, but there's a text under here that I'm finding hard to read. It's a little bit too small. I'm assuming it's going to be the same as this here, your first step towards peak performance. My suggestion with the logo, if you're open to this, would be probably increase the size of the summit, decrease the size of the admin solutions to be more like a tagline, and probably remove this phrase from the logo itself. By doing that, you're going to allow yourself more opportunity to print on smaller things, like maybe on letterheads or invoices, etc., without having text that's just becoming like a little blur at the bottom. You can definitely use the tagline, your first step towards peak performance. I love it. I love the tie between the summit and the performance with the peak. However, maybe there's a variation you can create on the tagline that speaks more towards the fact that you're hiring personnel. In the sense that, your first step towards peak performance, there are many different avenues that could lead towards better performance in a business. So perhaps mentioning that you are, you're here to offer people, to improve people's businesses would be a better way to improve that tagline. I would keep peak and performance. I love that. Maybe something to do with personnel tied in with that would be a little bit stronger. But without that, I don't think it's going to hurt. I think it's really nice and strong already. So yeah, happy days. Second thing that stands out, this color palette is beautiful. I really like the tone. It's nice and warm. It feels welcoming. It feels professional. I like it. Not much to say on the color palette so far. I really like it. I love the fact that we're opening here with an image of sort of like a trade scene with a person here smiling, interacting, a bit of a team. Love the vibe. I think this is going to fit the brand quite well. We're going to scroll down a little bit and sort of see what we've got going on here. Welcome. At Summit Admin Solutions, we provide tailored professional administrative and personal assistant support targeted to tradies and construction businesses. By partnering with us, you can access the expertise you need exactly when you need it without the overhead of hiring a full-time employee. Our flexible virtual assistant administrative services help free up your time to focus on growing your business, streamline your operations, and reduce costs. Love it. It's straight to the point, and I love the fact that it's not talking too much about the business itself. It's focused on the service you provide, which is great. Like, that's often a mistake I see with people's websites where they talk too much about themselves. This isn't doing that. I love the fact that it's straight to the point on the service and the benefits of hiring you. The first thing that I'm noticing here, though, that we could easily improve on is by adding a call to action. So under here, having a button that says, get in touch, or, inquire with us, see if we're the right fit for your business. Something to get the ball rolling right there would definitely be a good opportunity. It's, even if we can make this all fit on this first screen before we start to scroll down, I think that's a little bit better too. So maybe reducing this margin a little bit, bringing this photo up, and cleaning that up a little bit wouldn't hurt, just to fit it all on that first screen. But other than that, the content's cool, the layout's nice. We're definitely off to a strong start. Adding a call to action there would definitely improve your chances of getting people to move on to the next step. Why work with us? Okay, At Admin Solutions, we believe tradies, construction, and small businesses deserve to focus on the growth and success without being weighed down by paperwork, compliance, and admin headaches. And that's where we're here to help. Your first step towards peak performance. What sets us apart? Cool. Okay. My first criticism with this section here is that it looks quite busy. There's quite a lot of text. People typically will get quite bored and they might not want to sit down and read all of this. They want to basically know that you can do what they're looking for and get in touch once they know that they can trust you. I don't think these are bad points to make. I just think maybe there's a way we can lay this out a little bit better. So potentially keeping this sort of introduction and then having like a 3-column layout here that's like flexible and cost effective with maybe an icon that's like, some money with some sparkles on it or something. Industry specific expertise, maybe having an icon with like a person with a check next to it to show they're sort of like certified. Tradie friendly approach, maybe something like a handshake or someone with a hard hat in a group would be a cool little icon. And then having these little descriptions underneath these headings just to sort of break it up in like 3 boxes would be a little bit of a nicer way to sort of break down the content and make it a little bit more legible. But other than that, I think the content's good. I think we're off to definitely a good start. Check out our services. Okay, cool. I'm not going to click on it just yet. We're going to finish off with the homepage and then we're going to get down into the services and see what happens. This here, I've got a banner with 4 photos and none of them do anything. Not that I felt like they were going to do anything, but I do think that this here, go and check out our services, would be a good way to maybe use some columns here to expand on what these services are. So far, I know that you hire out personnel, but I don't exactly know what services you offer in that space. It would be nice to have maybe a little bit of information here, just a small heading and a photo maybe to sort of tie this together. We're going to dig a bit further, see if we can establish what your services are, and then maybe come back to what this should be. Under this, we've got testimonials. Love it. The layout's really nice. I love the fact that we've got her photo here. We've got 5 stars next to it. We've got a nice testimonial going on. We've got her name, position, and company she works for, which is amazing. Really, really strong way to prove that this is a valid testimonial. It's not just something you've made up and just stuck on the website. So I think instantly that's going to instill a lot of trust. I think we're off to a good start. Love that. Even this one over here, same sort of deal. It would be nicer maybe if we can get a picture of this guy, but not the end of the world. Obviously, he's a tradie working on a mine of some sort. Nice layout, name, position, and business that he works for. Fantastic. Another thing that could be cool, not sure if you've got this set up, but if you do have a Google business profile, you might be able to have a link under here that says read our Google reviews and just have a link there that goes to that. Typically, Google reviews are going to be more authentic because they're tied to someone's profile instead of just being a compilation of photos and text. So my only other criticism really with this sort of design is very minimal and quite picky, but potentially evening out the space between the stars and the text, lengthening out this box if necessary to sort of keep them even, but having all of these things align. Could just be a little bit smoother, but honestly, that's just like 0.5% of a change that's not really going to have a big impact, but in my opinion, would just tie things up a little bit better. Interesting in getting started or having a question. I would probably change this to be interested in getting started with us or have any questions. This could be a nice opportunity to have a little box with some frequently asked questions. If there are things that people are asking you commonly when they're coming to inquire, the easy questions that they're probably going to baffle you with a couple of emails here and there, and it's going to be back and forth for a while, you can clean that up and streamline that by answering some questions on the website. So by adding an FAQ and a frequently asked questions section, you can already do a lot of that work for yourself and allow people to figure it out for themselves before they get in touch. Let's talk. That there is the first time I've seen a call to action so far. So definitely having a call to action higher up would be better. Potentially even here, this should be a call to action once we've fixed up these columns. And then we should have our check out our services, make these columns what each service is, even with like a heading and a photo with a link to a service page. And then our testimonials, view more testimonials. And then if this is going to be a frequently asked questions section, maybe having don't see the answer you're looking for, ask us. And then, give them a small form where they can enter their name, email address, and their question that can just be very streamlined straight to your inbox, so that you can answer that for them. Down the bottom here, we have 2 more logos. Not sure why this one is black. We've got 2 here. They seem a little bit off-centered. I probably wouldn't worry about this one. I think having the very small one in the footer is probably the better option. Again, I would like to see that logo cleaned up without this bottom line on it and a few adjustments made to that. But overall, this is very, very clean. We've got an option here to change the language. I'm going to move myself on the screen so that you can see what's going on. But we've got here the option for English as the language. We don't have an option to change the language. So I would probably remove this as a thing. It doesn't really serve a purpose, and I think I'd probably be frustrated if I did speak another language, say I was looking for like Spanish or Chinese or something else, and I can't click it and do anything else. I'm going to be a little bit whatever. So yeah, that's probably my first sort of criticism on this page itself. The other thing is, if this is going to be changed to a frequently asked questions, I would probably add another call to action down the bottom. Want to get started with us, book a consultation today. Moving on, we've got the about page. Let's see what's going on in here. All right, love it. I like the fact that the color palette is very similar, the layout's nice. Where are we starting? There's a lot to look at. It's quite a busy start to the page. How we started, okay, at Summit Admin Solutions, we started after noticing a gap in the market where tradies and business owners were spending valuable time on administrative tasks and time that could be better spent on the tools, winning projects, and growing their business with over 13 years of experience. Cool. This is kind of what I was talking about earlier, where businesses talk a little bit too much about themselves and not really the problem that they solve. So I don't think that this is a bad thing to have on this page. However, maybe it's just a little bit too early. About us. Maybe it can be revised to spend more time on the tools, winning projects, or growing your business with our assistance, as like a sort of beginning to this, and then later on be like how we started and have that. And then I like this, the join the team, meet the people. We got Catherine here as the director. I like it. I would probably just space this down a little bit so that it's not all on the same section right at the start. If we can find a way to make this look like smaller bites of information and not just like a massive page of text, I think you're going to be winning. Again, probably wouldn't hurt after the introduction to have a call to action, book a consultation with us now. Other than that, I think this is cool. We've got join our team. Nice. Contact us for EOI to join the team. Email us here. By looking at this, I'm assuming this is going to open up as just a blank email. Yeah, cool. All right. So this brings up just a blank email. This is always a difficult thing. From here, I've got to figure out what the subject is. I've got to ask all the questions I want to ask. And I don't know what information you need from me if I'm looking at joining the team. So perhaps having a link here that goes to another page that's like a join our team page with a form that's custom designed for your specific requirements when looking for when you're looking for your teammates, would be a better way to go. Giving them an option to introduce themselves with like a little section there for that, first name, last name, email, phone number. Tell us a bit about yourselves, upload your cover letter, upload your resume, maybe the role that you're interested in, whatever it might be, and submit. Have all of that information go straight to your inbox. It's going to shorten the amount of conversations you're going to have to sort of get to the point. It gives people the questions they need to answer for you, and it's probably going to help with that. Although our main objective isn't necessarily to grow your team here, if that is something you're looking at doing through the website, that's probably a direction that I would go in to improve that for you. Then we're going to click on our services page. Cool. All right, nice. So we've got to the third page on the website, and now we're seeing the different services that you offer. We've got the virtual assistant, a life administrator, online business management. Awesome. Fantastic little services here that are going to be great additions to anyone's business. But I think it's a little bit late to be introduced to it for the first time. So again, we've got an introduction here at Summit Admin Solutions. We understand the unique challenges tradies and construction businesses face. Cool. I would probably reduce this. Again, I think maybe having like our services and then take the admin burden off your plate so you can focus on what you do best, delivering quality work and growing your business. Check out our services below. That there would be a great introduction to this page and probably would cancel out the requirement for a lot of this here. So you can shorten this, make it a little bit neater. Underneath here, we've got quite a lot of text in these boxes. I don't know if right now is where I'd be putting this. And I'll explain why in just a second. At the moment, if someone was to search for virtual assistant, it's quite unlikely, I would suggest, that people can be able to find this page through Google. Reason being is that this page is titled Services, and it talks about all of your services. So instead, what I would suggest is to have another page for each one of these services, and you can even link it underneath this. You might have like a drop-down menu that will say Services, Virtual Assistant, Life Administrator, Online Business Management, that will take you to each one of those pages individually. From there, you get the chance to create a page that's very focused and very specific on all your virtual assistant services. And then on that page, you can elaborate on all these different things that you offer within your virtual assistants and create a page that's going to be very Google friendly and able to show up when people are searching for that. On here, I would probably just have the heading, a photograph that sort of ties in with how that looks, and then a little bit of a paragraph that covers, from this, and this, we help you with all your virtual assistant needs, and then a button that says learn more or virtual assistant, whatever it might be, that's going to send them to that page. So having a little photograph, heading, little description, and a link to send them to each one of these separate pages would improve this a little bit. Your first step towards peak performance, and then 3 photos. Again, the 3 photos here aren't really doing a lot. I think these would serve better as, a way to tie in what each of these columns are before you link them to the individual page. Can't find what you're looking for, get in touch to contact if we can help. And then we've got an email link here again, and it looks like, what is this? So I've got a little thing going on that's going to help me zoom in for some reason, but it's, I would look at that. Maybe this is an unnecessary feature here down the bottom too. So yeah, if you want to say can't find what you're looking for, get in touch to discuss if we can help, I would then just have a button here that's going to send them to your contact page. Down the footer here, we now have a little menu, which is nice. I think if we're going to be doing this as the footer, it should have been on the home page as well. But it's a good idea to do this sort of thing. Cool. All right, so that's the services page for now, and then on our contact page. Lovely. So contact page, we've got the logo, we've got a book a discovery call. Awesome. Now, this is the first time that I've seen that maybe this is the way that you go when sort of working with your clients. This is the first step in the process, is for them to book a call with you and have a chat about what they need. This should have been everywhere beforehand. So on the home page where I mentioned having a call to action, I think that's what you're going to put in here. Book a discovery call now. Use that wherever you can in order to try to get people to achieve that goal. Get in touch, we've got your back. Okay, this form personally looks more like your inquiry form than just like your booking form, more than a contact form. On the contact page, I would simplify this. I would just have first name, last name, business name, phone and email, and then how can we help you, and have a box for them to be able to write their question in order to contact you. And I would have maybe like book a discovery call. That can take them to a page where they could enter all of this information here so that you're prepared for your call and you know what they need, whether they're looking for a virtual assistant or they're looking for online business management, whatever it might be. Yeah, so that's my only sort of qualms with the contact page. I think I would simplify this form and maybe create another page that's going to be for your book a discovery call. And I would have that up on the top here as well. Have a nice big button up here that says book a discovery call. That's always going to be the primary focus. The top right hand side of your page is normally where people are going to go when looking for, that step to confirm and get in touch. So by having that up there, you're not going to lose out. Okay, we've got a phone number here. I love that, but I can't click it. It would be so great if I could just click on that and then it automatically takes me to a phone call. So just hyperlinking that phone number would be another nice way to get that started. Obviously, by offering sort of like online services, you can probably service many places around the world. But by having your location, even if it's just like, I'm not sure, I'm assuming Perth, Western Australia, or Australia-wide, something on there that's going to just tie in the location a little bit more is going to help Google understand where you're based. So any sort of information like that would be nice to have on this page. But yeah, other than that, this is a very strong sort of start to the website. I think the design is really nice. I think a lot of the information is good, but there are just a few things that I would probably start with to clean this up. So yeah, I hope that helps in some way. If you want any more information about what I would do with the service pages and how to increase the SEO on those things, maybe implement these ideas to begin with, and then I can do another review on it and sort of talk you through that as well. But yeah, lovely website, strong start. I'm looking forward to seeing what you can do with this. I hope that helps, and I'll see you guys in the next review.